Pleasant good morning to all my Facebook friends and family members all across the globe. This is Clifton David Ryan, coming to you live from Trinidad and Tobago. Beautiful sky this morning. Guys, I've been doing these lives just for about 4 months, going into 5 months now. And I've been receiving so many messages from individuals about the information that I share sometimes and how it has been impacting them, and it really fuels me to continue going. Javian, welcome. Good to have you on the live this morning. And you guys would see the title of my live this morning. Somebody's trying to call me while I'm doing my CDR inspiration this morning. I'll call them right back. Yeah, so this fuels me, guys. This is what keeps me going. It's really good when I could share some information that people could really appreciate, people could enjoy, people could get value from it. So you see the title of my live this morning: what are you leaving? What are you leaving? That's the question. What are you leaving? And that question came from some thoughts I've been having about parents wanting to leave things for their children, or grandparents wanting to leave things for their grandchildren. Good to have you on the live, Genevieve, my good friend Errol McKenna. Good to have you, Felicia, all the way from Ghana. Good to have you on the live this morning. Yeah, that thought came from parents wanting to leave things for their children, or grandparents wanting to leave things for their grandchildren. And I've been thinking about it, and what I came to realize is that more than what you leave for them is what you leave in them. More than what you leave for them is what you leave in them. A good upbringing, good values and principles that they could live by is far more than what you could leave for them. Now, I'll tell you why I say that. There is an old saying that it's better to teach a man to fish than to give him a fish. The saying says, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And I really came to appreciate that quotation or ideology or philosophy. Whoever was the person that wrote it, I'm not certain. I really grew to appreciate it. And one of the things that I came to realize one day, I'm driving down the highway and I'm thinking about my life, because for as long as I can remember, I've been involved in business for as long as I can remember. And one day I'm driving down the highway and a thought just hit me, because I was thinking about my life, doing some introspection, just thinking back about my life. And I started thinking about some of my relatives. I am involved in business. I have quite a number of relatives that are involved in business. I thought about my grandmother, who is involved in business, and she's been involved in business from ever since I knew her. And the thought just hit me, guys, and I pulled over on the highway immediately. And I called my grandmother. I said, "Hi, Granny, how you doing?" She said, "I'm good. What going on?" I said, "I just called to tell you thanks." She said, "What?" She said, "Well, you're welcome, but what you telling me thanks for?" I said, "I was just driving down the highway here and I was thinking about my life and how deeply involved in business I am. And then I started thinking about some of my uncles who are involved in business, which are her sons, and daughters that she has also that are involved in business. Then cousins that I have. Everybody, some skill that they have or some service that they offer, and they've made it into a business. And it got me to thinking, why is it that all of us are involved in business, or so many of us are involved in business or self-employed in some way? And it all led right back to my grandmother, my dad's mom. for all my life that I knew her or know her, she's never worked for anyone. I never know her working for anyone. She's always had a shop or offered some service to someone. And that is how I knew my grandmother all these years. And because of that, so many of my cousins, I have aunts, uncles that are now self-employed or running some business. And I say, even if my grandmother doesn't have a piece of land or house or money in the bank to give to me, she taught me how to generate income without having to work for someone else. I learned that from my grandmother. She passed it on to my mom, and from the age of 8 years old, I know my mom making preserves and other snacks, which is what I saw my grandmother doing at a very tender age. And my mom learned that, and we were able to use that type of business at a very young age to generate additional income for ourselves, which I had to use to go to school sometimes. From the age of as young as 8 years old, I could remember having a nice little blue basket and walking around my community, Edinburgh 500, where we grew up most of our lives. We walked around that community and sold those snacks, red mangoes and sugar cake and tamarind ball and nuts and all these different, other preserves. And I really have to say that it all started from my grandmother. So I'm publicly saying, live on Facebook this morning, that I thank God for my grandmother and what she has left in us. More than what she could leave for us is what she left in us. And that is a legacy that would live on forever. Her story will always be told. So question to you this morning, ask yourself, what are you leaving? What are you leaving? Are you more focused on what you are leaving for them, or what you are leaving in them? Ask yourself the question, guys. Thank you very much for taking the time to be on CDR Inspiration this morning. If you got any value, you could type value in the chat. If you are looking at this on replay, you could type replay. And don't forget to check out my YouTube channel. It's up, and there are already a few videos up there for you guys to enjoy and to share. Just search hashtag CDR Inspiration on YouTube. Or you could search Clifton David Ryan on YouTube. Clifton David Ryan or hashtag CDR Inspiration. And you're going to see some of my videos from the lives that I would have done in the past. If you got value, also invite someone else on next week, Monday morning, 6:45 a.m. for CDR Inspiration. God blessings to every one of you, and see you all the way up to the top in whatever you are doing, because the bottom is always too crowded, and I don't want to be there anymore. So have a blessed Monday, guys, a blessed week, and a blessed month. The month has just started, just a few days in, so have a blessed and successful month. Talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.